digital marketing complements your other marketing efforts. For you to reach a point where digital marketing covers all your marketing needs, you would have to grow to a level where you are a very significant, you are a very huge brand, and you have covered a very huge, addressable market. And this takes time. Now, greetings and welcome to the Marketing Matters podcast. Here we talk about marketing strategy, digital trends, and technology. I'm your host, Steven Atema.
I'm Atema Victoria.
And welcome to today's conversation. So today we want to talk about the myths that you have faced or that you think that you have about the marketing space and mainly the digital marketing industry. But for starters, we are trying to establish, Vicky, what is the difference between digital marketing and just normal marketing?
Oh, I think the simplest definition is digital marketing means you're creating awareness, you're seeking customers in the online space, while traditional marketing is you're using different strategies to seek for customers, but in the offline space. So digital marketing
Okay.
examples would be like social media, website design, content marketing, email marketing, and the likes, and even different digital adverts. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, like Google Ads. And the traditional marketing would be now newspaper ads, SMS. It could be sharing things on, the TV commercials, radio ads, and even just billboards. So those are part of the traditional marketing. Though also in the way the world is moving, which is quite interesting, is also digital marketing is merging with traditional media in the sense that now TVCs or TV commercials now are also doing some level of digital marketing in the sense that with streaming apps, they are able to give a better targeting strategy. They are able to give you more data and insights on the people who watched, the actions they took. Same with billboards. Now we have billboards that are no longer static. There are billboards that show different motion graphics and whatnot. So it's quite an interesting space to be in, and I would urge anyone who is doing the marketing, being in the marketing industry, to try to also be both, be conversant in both, because I foresee in the next 3-5 years that it will be very hard to differentiate between digital marketing and traditional marketing, because traditional market, those two industries are merging. But yeah, me, I'll start with my I said me, I like a typical Kenyan. I'll start with my myth, or with the myth that I have faced, or I have encountered with a lot of customers, and even in my career, that there's this assumption that digital marketing is supposed to be cheaper than traditional marketing. And when I say digital marketing being cheaper, is if a company is spending 100,000 on marketing per month, maybe if they are paying their salesperson 100,000 retainer, and then the commissions, the expectation usually for people who have not interacted with digital marketing long enough is that if I am doing digital marketing, then I should cut this budget by half and spend 50,000 and get the same results that this guy who was doing personal selling was doing. And I would just like to bust that myth. Digital marketing is not cheaper than traditional marketing. Digital marketing is more cost effective than traditional marketing. What do I mean? What I mean is, if I was spending 100,000 on a salesperson for a product, I can deploy the same resources and spend 100,000 on a digital marketing campaign and get better results or more results. What does this mean? This means that this personal selling person, as much as he's a good salesperson, he's limited in his ability to reach a wider audience. He's also limited in his ability to work. He can only work maybe 8 to 5. He can only travel in a certain radius. He can only give me the data that he's captured based on what he's seeing. But now, if I were to deploy the same amount of money on digital marketing, I would definitely get a wider reach. I would also be able to get more insights and do more tactical campaigns. But also, I would also be able, because of the reach, I would also have potentially be able to generate more revenues. What do you think of this myth, Vicky? Am I right or am I right?
Actually, it was also my first point. Digital
Yeah.
marketing is cheap. Yeah, it's
Mm,
like it's an assumption that that people think, because which I will not blame anyone, because when you think about it, in 2017 to 2019, marketing on digital platforms was somewhat easy. Like you would
mm,
post one product and people will be interested, and you'll get inquiries, and probably you'll even make sales. But I think eventually, because even that time it was even very simple. You just, if you have a product,
mm.
just take a photo, put it on the online space, and you'll even sell it organically. You don't even need to do much of the advertising. So that time
Yes.
it was relatively cheap. But now, after 2020, everyone is on the online platforms. Businesses are now competing for the same clients.
Mm,
More investments needs to be done. Creativity needs to be on another level. Think about investing on a website, on the social media uh, platforms, the
creative.
content that you create, the
Mm,
SEO, the continuous advertisements that you put on those platforms, the videography, the photography, the editing. If you are to do it in a professional manner, it cannot be cheap. Remember, you're not competing
mm.
with your competitors are now on the same platform. Whatever you do, whatever your competitors do, the customers are able to see and compare. So it cannot be as cheap as people
Mm. Perceive it to be.
perceive them to be. So
Yeah,
right
you're
now,
right.
if you have to just think about it being cost effective in a way that if I'm to reach, I'll be able to reach the target audience that I want to. Therefore, I'm spending my money the right way to be able to get my customers, or the right audience that I want. But it's not cheap in terms of um, the budget. You still need to spend
The quantum.
money to be
Now,
able
now,
to
now, you're very
convert
right.
your customers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you're right because I
Yeah.
think what created this perception about the digital marketing space being cheap was because when the space had started, very few people had fully understood what it meant, and the few people who understood it and were able to reach a bigger audience sold this very rosy story about, as long as on digital and you do one post a day or two posts a day, you will be able to do that. But in any
Yeah.
industry, as more and more people start participating, while the pool of users also grows, also the pool of advertisers grows, and you have now, of course, to be more tactical and spend more. Overall, a campaign that you would have done 5 years ago on Facebook is not the same campaign that you can do and get the same results
Yeah.
on Facebook, because even the algorithm also it does what we call bidding. It also places the ads based also on the competitiveness of your pricing. So if you put also a very low pricing, somebody can outbid you and reach out. Of course, the algorithm allows you to also be relevant, but definitely, as more users are spending more on the platform, if everybody is spending 100,000, you cannot be the one spending 10,000 and reach the same guy, because also remember, these platforms are revenue motivated, so they want to encourage the guy spending 100,000 to spend 120,000. Now you
Yeah.
10k, you might get your reach, but it's not the same as if you had spent an average of what everybody else is spending. So it's something that needs to be appreciated by our customers and anybody who is entering the digital marketing space. Don't sell this story that digital marketing will be cheaper than having a salesperson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, your
The
thoughts on
the
another myth?
Yeah, the second myth is, once you rank on top, the job is done. This is mostly for search engines. That once
SEO.
you're ranking on the top page, or the first three uh, uh, search on the search engine, your job is done. Of course, your competitors are not sleeping. Someone says being number one is easy, but staying number one is
Mhm.
very difficult. So it's very difficult. So you need to consistently uh, keep working on your website for you to stay on top. For you to get the job done, you need to consistently work on your website. Of course, maybe you will not do as much as when you're trying to get on top, but it has to be the job has to, you need to still continue working. Then the same applies to even your brand. Like once you are known, that you stop marketing. Ask yourself, why do we have adverts from Coke despite the brand being known,
Mhm.
and people still drink Fanta, they still drink Coke? So it's because they understand that marketing never stops. So you can't say that because I'm known or my brand is on the top in the search engine, then I have to stop marketing. No, you have, in fact, you put in more budget to be able to reach more people for you to get more sales. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I agree, and especially because of how these technologies with AI is going, you'll even need to work harder to be part
Yeah.
of the recommended results by these search engines,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. Another thing that that always fascinates me is people saying digital marketing will replace traditional marketing, and here this means digital marketing replaces personal selling, especially personal selling. And the personal selling can be, a salesperson. It can be relationship management and whatnot. And this cannot be any further from the truth, because digital marketing complements your other marketing efforts. For you to reach a point where digital marketing covers all your marketing needs, you would have to grow to a level where you are a very significant, you are a very huge brand, and you have covered a very huge, addressable market. And this takes time. Now, and even then, you would still need personal selling. Why? Because
Yeah.
say you are selling a product, you're selling, let's say for purposes of this conversation, you're selling a marketing course. Digital marketing will allow you, because it's cost effective, to reach guys all over the country, in fact, all over the world, for a product like that. But there is something about selling that you need to appreciate: the marketing funnel, because you will create awareness, then you will create interest, then somebody, after creating the interest, they'll make the purchase, and then the purchase, after the purchase, they start being a loyal customer, and then they become your ambassador, what we call advocacy. Now, if you only rely on digital marketing to carry the customer through this journey, you're going to fail. And this is where the traditional marketing comes, or the personal selling, the personal selling comes, or relationship management is. Because the first time I heard about you, maybe I heard about you on a YouTube advertisement, or on a Meta, or a Facebook, or an Instagram ad. I was interested in the product, and then you left your contacts there. Because maybe this product costs several thousands, or this product is complicated, I need to get further to understand this product. So I'll make a call, or I'll do an SMS, or I'll do an email and whatnot. So you created the awareness on the digital platforms, but then the customer, or even reaching out to the customer to to further your campaign, you need to do maybe a call, you need to do an email. And I have seen in most products, especially if you're selling a service, you will highly likely get more conversions by following through on the people who watched your content, or people who reached out, by doing a call, because a call is more personalized. Digital marketing allows you to the biggest uh, thing that a digital marketing ad or a digital marketing campaign will allow you to is to reach a lot of people, but to convert the personal element, which is now, hey Vicky, I saw you saw our ad, or I saw you are interested you clicked interested in one of our campaigns. Can I give you more information about this product? Or, hey Vicky, I saw you left your contact here for more information, and I'm calling you from this company to tell you about this thing. So digital marketing complements, and we cannot emphasize this far more. Like, digital marketing complements uh, traditional
Traditional.
marketing, or personal selling. So any brand who engages us, because we also offer digital marketing services, we always try to tell them that while we shall give you reach and we shall even do conversions, because if your product is simple, if a product, like if you're selling a product that everybody knows, like it's a pen, and you're selling it maybe a unique pen, a blue pen, when everybody's selling a red pen, definitely it is easier to get conversions. But if you are selling, even as the campaign goes, the people who are seeing the ads will also be the people who like buying red pens. So you need to convince them why they need to buy the blue pen. And it is very hard to do that by just seeing an advert without somebody telling me, hey, this is why this pen, because even an ad has a very limited number. Most campaigns are limited to maybe like 2 minutes max. So you cannot share a lot of information on that. And when you have a call, you can, even get concerns and move the customer from awareness to interest to actual purchase. Thoughts, Vicky?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're very right. We are social beings, so as much as we are on the online platform, uh, having that physical connection, whether it's through call, whether it's through a visit, whether it's through the different banners that you put, it plays a major role, especially in conversion. So yeah, it's true. You have to it they complement each other. Yeah, so it's very
Yeah.
important. You cannot just ignore one and use one.
Mm.
You have to use both for you to be effective in your marketing. The other
Do you have
myth
another myth?
that yeah, another myth that I know it's very that it, another myth that I know that is very common. It's everyone is my customer. This one I took so long to accept.
That is very nice.
Everyone is my customer.
We fight with guys every day.
Yeah. Yeah, even me, for me, I would just be like, no, everyone needs a website. No,
But
everyone
as
needs
long as they
social
see
media.
it, as long as they see it, they'll
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah, so everyone is not your customer. Establishing a target
Yeah.
audience will really help you save time. It will help you save money. It will even help you save energy because of the time that you invest in creating the content. It will give you ideas on which content you are able to create to meet the right target audience. So people are likely to buy from you when they know that they relate with your brand. So you need to increase your you need to narrow down on your target audience. It leads to better results. Of course, for example, if you're selling ladies handbag and you will get men who would want to buy for their ladies or their wives
Partners.
handbags, but they are not your target audience. It doesn't mean that you will not sell to them, but who are your majority
Core.
audience? Like who are the people who buy from you? Like who which is the largest now? Who is the largest audience that buys from you? Like of course there are ladies,
Mm.
and of course you can even narrow down to the price. There are ladies who will buy high end or premium bags. There are ladies who will buy cheap bags. So who is your audience? It will help you narrow on the budget that even you're doing on the digital space, the type of content you create. So it's very important to focus on your audience. So don't just think of everyone being your customer, because you'll end up spreading too thin and then not able to get your conversion as you thought. Yeah.
Yeah, true. While you want to reach to everyone, when you fully understand who your target audience is, it even allows guys like us to guide you on the strategy and to compare, to do a more deliberate and a more, what's the word, a more precise campaign. Because then if we know your audience is the affluent people and these are affluent ladies or these are affluent men, then if for some reason we find in the campaign that we're doing for affluent men that there is a lady who is buying an affluent product, say it's a suit, you're selling a 50,000 shilling suit, that is an affluent man who will buy that suit. But if you find a lady asking about this affluent suit, it could be another lady who is buying for the partner. But the majority of your audience, like you said, will be the people who are buying this type of product. So it allows even the person who is guiding you on your marketing strategy to give you the right I want to call it a prescription. Because what sometimes you face is a
Yeah.
customer comes and says, I want to target men. Okay, so you do a campaign for men and they're like, But why am I getting inquiries from guys asking about this thing, and they're saying it's too expensive? You're like, but you are not very
Yeah.
specific on the type of audience you are reaching out. But if we knew that we're talking about this type of people, then definitely it would allow us, even the medium. Actually, sometimes the platform you use is also dependent on the type of audience that you have. So in our previous video, we talked about that you don't have to be on all platforms to be successful in digital marketing. So when you guide your marketing strategy team, or the person guiding helping you on your adverts, then they will also create, even the creatives that we do will also be guided by the audience, and that's a very important insight for a customer to guide the marketing team. That was a very good one, Vicky. Another one that is also quite interesting is that digital marketing results should be instant. So I do a campaign, I pay you 100,000 or 50,000 or 10,000 for ads. Then I want to get 10,000 or more in returns. And that's not how it works. We have talked about that marketing funnel. It will take a customer an average of 3 ads, seeing the same ad thrice, to be even remotely interested in what you're saying. So the first ad will create awareness. The second one will create another awareness. The third one maybe creates now the interest. Now you want this guy to move from the interest to the actual purchase. But when you engage a digital marketing company or a digital marketing strategist to help you on your campaign, and you want to make a campaign for 3 months and return all your money in that 3 months, that is not the attitude. Or that's not how digital marketing works. Digital marketing, like we said, is just complementing a traditional marketing. It's like any other marketing. And if you're in the marketing field, sometimes you will do a creative, and you will do an ad campaign, and it will create awareness and interest. But maybe some of the customers, of course, some of them will convert, and it's usually good for you when you're doing a campaign to also, get some ROI, return on investment, or what we call return on ad spend. But most of the time, when you're doing a campaign, you also have to have a long-term view and say, how long do we want to attribute this campaign to in terms of our revenues? And say, okay, we are doing a 3-month campaign. We're going to spend 50,000 per month on different platforms, and we want minimum in this campaign period to have received maybe 100,000, or we even received 150. Depends actually on how well your campaign is run. But also try to be appreciative that, depending on the product, and there are several actually nuances that you can only learn when you are actually engaged with a digital marketing company, that depending on the product also, it will also depend on how long people will take to convert. If you're selling a cheap product or a low cost product, chances are people are easy to convert. But if you're selling a high cost product, then it will also take longer for people to convert. And that should also inform your campaign and your budgeting, because you can't spend a little amount on marketing for a product that also has higher cost. So that is something that I struggle with, both for on a personal level, in terms of guiding the company, but also when you meet people who are asking, okay, I have 50,000. What can 50,000 give me in terms of of a 1 month
Yeah.
campaign? So, Vicky, you have any experiences or thoughts on the issue about marketing and results?
Yeah, it even reminds me there was someone who had told me that he wrote a book. I don't know, I think I told you that story. He has a book that he wants to sell, so he was asking if he pays 50,000, will he be able to sell? If he pays me
Mm.
10,000, will he be
How
able
many
to
books
sell
will he
80
sell?
copies? Yeah, you know.
Uh,
And of course, before even you take such a deal, you have to understand which what is the content of that book, like how much. And then he's selling the book at 1,000 shillings, and it's an ebook. Like you just come up with a figure
mm,
and you want to make miracles out of it. So
yeah.
yeah, it's true. Instant results, it doesn't work on the online space. If it does, it's one of
That's
the
true, because
anomaly.
you've also reminded me. Yeah, it's we
Yeah.
call it beginner's luck. What you reminded me is also that, when you're talking about, somebody saying, I have this amount of money, and I want these types of results, especially if you have not done digital marketing, digital marketing usually for a brand, like say you have never been are a brand, you have never done any advert. You also have to appreciate that you also have to go through the learning curve, because digital marketing,
Yeah,
like most marketing, is just experimenting. We are testing
yeah,
this type of audience. Maybe you thought your audience was men who are between 30 and 50 years, but when we go to the testing, we realize that maybe your audience could be narrower or bigger, and you have also to have that in mind. And usually that testing can take at least a month. So when you want a result in for a campaign in a month, that's why if you have ever engaged any digital marketing firm, usually any serious digital marketing firm will give you minimum 3 months for a digital campaign, because
yeah,
the first month is awareness, then the second month, is creating the interest and trying to move conversion, then the third month is usually where you're doing the conversions and sustenance. But if you just come and say, I have, first of all, I don't even have a social media page, so there's a whole, we have to climb a whole mountain to just move you from being an non-existent brand online to, first of all, being recognized online, and then now start doing the conversion. So it's
yeah,
always good to try to
yeah.
appreciate the whole
So
process, and a good digital marketing firm will be very honest with you about how long or how likely you are to get a return on your ad spend.
yeah, just as you've said, testing is very key, and of course, the way you had just explained, no, how the type of product or service that you're selling. If your product, if it takes you, if let's say you're doing real estate and it takes you like 3 months to be able to conclude with a customer, you don't expect miracles
Mm,
in the online space, because if there are so many decision
yes.
makers involved and the like, so you also need to understand your product or the service that you're offering, and you understand that it's not that you're going to change the way the customer journey when it's in the offline space to the online space. It's just the same. The only difference is now you're going to generate a different kind of audience on the online space. But when it comes to the customer journey to conversion, it's almost the same. Yeah.
Mm,
So
that's good.
another myth is more followers on social media will translate to more sales. Well, this sometimes it's true, but it's not necessarily correct, because it depends with the quality of the followers.
Let
Like,
me add something to that, Vicky.
yeah,
Let me add something to that so that we can also discuss. There's also on the more followers that also when your content goes viral, you'll also sell more.
yeah, yeah. That's not necessarily true, because now you need to focus on the quality of the followers. How do you nurture the relationships of the existing followers? Can they
Mm,
be, are they audience, is that an audience that can buy your product, or are they just following your social media because of maybe the creativity that you're putting on the content, but they do not
yes.
necessarily need your product? Or are they so you need to look at, is it more profitable um, to get more followers, or to just focus on a niche but create content that aligns to that niche, and you're able to get the right audience who are ready to buy your product or the service that you're offering. Especially when you're doing business, don't look at don't focus on getting going viral, or focus on just building more audience, but look at content that aligns with your target audience, such that when you get that audience, when you market or sell to them your product, it's very easy for them to buy your product or service. Remember, even in the online space, we have so many options where you can buy followers. But the problem is, you will buy the followers, but even they don't even watch the videos. You just have so many followers, but the videos you're
Yeah.
watching, you don't have any likes, you don't have any comments. So you end up just having followers that are there by default, but they're not helping you make more sales. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know what you have.
So I think I have two more before. Yeah, no, that one it's well covered. I was thinking about something when you spoke about also the virality of the content, and also having more followers, because in social media, and I think it's also good for our customers to appreciate that, and even in marketing generally, that another myth that people have is that sales, meaning the revenue you get, is the only measure of success of a campaign, and that is also a very flawed
Yeah.
view, because like you said, if your brand was not known online, and for some reason we did several ads, and it allowed you to grow your audience from 5 people to 5,000, that is success in its own. If you did not did not used to get queries on your platform, and people now start asking you messages and sending you messages or chats and asking for more information. If your website did not used to have any serious visits on a product that you're trying to push, all those are, in my view, several ways of success. And what you can do is, as a customer or as a person trying to do an advertising, is to be clear on your goal. What is the goal? And I would urge any brand or any business that is not online to not focus so much on the sales, but to first of all grow its audience and customer pool, and then move slowly from the awareness to then moving to conversions, because it is a tall order to not have an online presence and suddenly to do serious sales on the platform. And that's why we are saying the digital marketing, or the marketing that is happening on the digital end, is just the same way it would happen on the traditional media. So anybody who is doing a digital marketing, especially for the first time, and we are just setting up your digital platforms, you have never been on TikTok, and your campaign, in my view, if you have never been on a digital platform, TikTok, Meta, Google Ads, your first goal should first be growing your audience. Now when you grow your audience, and you are at a level where you're comfortable with your audience, of course, by then, remember, as you're growing your audience, you're still selling the product. It's just that that's not the main goal. And another thing that maybe we don't emphasize enough is goals are very important in a campaign. You have to be clear on what you go. You should not Any marketing campaign should not have more than two goals, in my view, because your goal should be, what is the goal? Let's In fact, let me simplify it. You should have a primary goal and a secondary goal, and the primary goal should be one. Your first goal, if you're doing a campaign for selling toys, your primary goal maybe should be revenues. I want to sell 100,000 shillings worth of toys, and that becomes your goal. If your platform is new, your primary goal should be, I want to reach 100,000 or 1,000 followers or likes, and that's goal, and that's okay. But trying to say, because I'm getting 1,000, I need also to see how that 1,000 gives me money. That in your first campaign, that can be a secondary goal. The revenue can be a secondary goal. Now, as the brand grows, then you can say, now my primary goal, now I have already reached 5,000 followers. For my product, I just need 1,000 of them to convert. Then that becomes your primary goal, which is converting your 5,000 to 1,000, from the 1,000 to be actual customers. It's not even about the amount; they are just now making purchases. This is assuming that you're selling more than one item. Now, when they start making purchases, then you're like, I want now to maximize this 1,000 to start giving me revenues of 10,000 or 100,000. That, in my view, that would be the best trajectory for a business that is keen on sustaining its digital campaign and brand. Vicky,
Yeah,
any additions?
I think that myth aligns more also with more traffic leads to more conversion. Like if I have more leads,
Yeah,
I'm assured to convert more.
you'll
Okay,
sell
well,
more.
this might be true because of course the more leads you get, the more you are likely to convert more. But it depends with the quality of the traffic. Like the people who are
Mm,
clicking to go to your email or to your website, to your landing page, or to even your contact list, what are they getting when they come to your contact list or to your email or to your website? Is your landing page well optimized? What is the content that you put on your advert? Is it the same, or did you put a clickbait such that when I come to you to ask or inquire questions from your contacts or from your WhatsApp or your telephone, your email, am I getting the same information or you're giving me something different? Maybe you're saying, oh, that one was a discount, but now with this, you're not going to get a discount. Are you selling the same information? So it again depends with in fact, the audience that are clicking to your advert to go to your landing page, are they quality? Are they just clicking to see where does this click, or if I click on this link, where does it take me? So it's a valid point if you have quality traffic. And also, it makes sense
mm,
when you do follow ups. The best way to convert your audience or to sales, or to convert the leads to sales, is when you make follow ups. You don't just assume that
Mm.
because I did an advert and someone clicked to go to my contact list, then they are automatically going to make sales. No, you need to make continuous follow up, do creative ways of doing the follow ups. You can do retargeting to increase conversion. Then if you do this, then the more traffic will lead to conversions. Yeah.
Yeah. You have any other myths?
I think the last one that I would summarize or conclude with is the lowest price always win. I know most of the time, even as business people, we tend to think that when we just if I just lower my price, I'm going to get more sales.
Mm.
So if
Yes.
I, yeah, if I'm doing anything in the online platform, maybe I need to lower my price because my competitor is also selling at a low price. And it's very common right now in the online space because people are, you have many people who are shopping around uh, to check what is your cost, what is your
Mm.
competitor's cost. So sometimes you can be tempted to lower your price because your competitors have also lowered the price. But while
Competition.
this sometimes might make sense because maybe you have done your market research and you have realized, yeah, I need to lower my price. It depends. Sometimes you have to focus on your quality compared to the quantity. Look at your customer, because sometimes when you lower the price, customer perceive the quality of that product as low. They think that
Mm.
this product is cheap, then it means it's not
Yeah.
of high quality. So you have to balance. Then also look at now in the finance or the business way, look at the profit margin. Does it make sense if you are to lower that price, or you're going to end up selling more, but at the end of the day, you're going to suffer as a business? So look at the most effective strategy and look at quality versus the quantity. If your goal is for quantity, then lowering the price might be your solution. But if the goal is you want to produce quality and also make more sales, then focus on quality. Because also the customers who another disadvantage is customers who always focus on price. They'll always be people who bargain. They'll always they're most of them are not loyal because they'll always be looking for which is the lowest cost for me to be able to purchase. So they'll not be loyal to you. So focus more on the quality as opposed to looking at the price of the product. Yes.
Yeah, that's true because you reminded me of that something we learned in business school. There are Veblen and Giffen goods. So there are products where every time the price goes up, then the people perceive it to be more expensive. Assuming you're selling a watch, and a watch on you're selling it at 5,000, and another person is selling it at 10,000, another person is selling it at 100,000. It creates the impression that the 100,000 shilling watch is better quality than the guy selling a watch at 5,000. So
Yeah.
you understanding your
Yeah.
product and understanding your customer is again back to what you had said earlier, a very important thing for any person doing digital marketing. Now, my final thoughts,
Yeah.
and this I struggle with, especially for people in the career in the and even businesses, is not everybody can be a marketer. So there is this assumption that because there's a low barrier to entry, everybody wants to become a digital marketer, or everybody can, anybody can help a company, grow itself. It seems easy until there's this saying that every job is easy if you're not the one doing it. So there is when you're doing a campaign for a customer and maybe you're not achieving the results that they had anticipated earlier, they start trying to give you suggestions. They're like, no, instead of doing an ad every day, let's do it weekly, save cost and whatnot. But when you're doing this, when you've done this thing for a long time, sometimes you'll have good days, sometimes you'll have bad days. So not everybody can be a marketer. And I'm saying this also in terms of not only just customers who are trying also to guide the strategies on the campaign. It's good to give your suggestions, but you should also rely and trust that the expert will knows what they're doing, and they will do the campaign to the manner in which that campaign should be done. There's also that bit about being a social media or a digital marketer. You need to have some creativity. You need to also have some analytical skills in terms of what understanding the results you're getting on the different dashboards to make sense on where you need to tweak. You also need to also have some gut instinct about best, because when you're doing an ad online, the algorithm also only just sees the ad and sees how it performs. But before even the ad is laid on the platform, you are supposed to also judge who is this audience, or who is this ad going to go to, and what is the emotion that this ad will elicit for me to also make bigger sales. And that is something that a lot of customers, especially people who see marketing as a simple function, do not fully appreciate. And I can assure you that when you are dealing with experts and you trust them to do their job, then chances are that you will have a better success than when you try to micromanage the digital marketing team or the digital marketing service provider and try to guide them on where you think. Like if you're selling, maybe you are big, or you know how to operate Facebook, but your digital marketer is telling you, dude, you should be on TikTok. And then you're like, no, me, I want you to sell on Facebook. You appreciating that this person knows what they are saying, and trying to giving them the benefit of doubt is something that you ought to appreciate for any person who is engaging a marketing professional, whether externally or internally. Any thoughts, Vicky, or we wind up from there?
Yeah, I think that has been well explained here.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, so that was a very nice chat and a very insightful chat. I hope you guys were able to learn something about the different digital marketing myths. If you have any other marketing myths that they trouble you at your workplace or at your agency, please feel free to share on the chat, and we shall highlight them in our shorts or any other videos. But from there, it's me, your host, Steven Atema.
Yeah, it's Victoria Tema. Remember to like, subscribe, and click on the notification button. And bye.
Bye.